and welcome to Channel 1492 News, reporting the latest in cross-cultural interactions. I'm Julianna, and this is my co-host, Cameron.
Right now, we're in Central Asia, populated mostly by peaceful nomadic tribes who live off their animals, producing food and shelter from their meat and furs, trading occasionally with oasis towns.
Nomadic tribes are very peaceful and are not at all a threat to us.
And we're back. Now we're going to sports, where last night's ball game in South America and jousting tournaments in medieval Europe left fans stunned.
I'm Spencer, and I'm here with the winning team. So you guys feel pretty good about your win?
Yeah, it feels great, really great.
What do you guys plan on doing now that you won?
We plan on going to the temples. They haven't told us what we're doing there, but priests have something planned for
You have
us.
no clue what you're doing there?
No idea.
Well, I think they're calling for you over there, so why don't you go celebrate your win? But you guys were the losing team, and this is the Aztec Empire, of course. And you know what happens to the losing team. Any comments? Well, there you have it, the winning team and the losing team.
For the king! For glory! Ah! Speaking of Europe, trade in the medieval times has dropped a dramatic 30%. To make up for the loss, European companies have converted to a more self-sufficient manners, controlled by lords and worked by serfs.
It is now 1200 AD and a new nomadic group has been introduced. The Mongols. And we're back. Thanks to the famous celebrity Genghis Khan, the Mongol Empire now reaches from eastern China with the Yuan dynasty to the Ilkhanate of Persia. It's a fad we like to call the Pax Mongolia.
Breaking news in the stock market, long-distance trade has increased dramatically thanks to Mongol protection of the Silk Road trade and the elimination of tariffs.
And now we'll go to Spencer on the field. Spencer, who are you speaking with right now?
Thanks, Cameron. Yeah, it's 1350 here in Africa, and I'm speaking with Ibn Battuta. Tell us about yourself.
I'm a traveler and an educated man.
And what is it that you do?
I travel the world, I spread Islamic faith and Sharia law.
Now, what you got there?
Well, we had to execute this woman this morning for committing the crime of adultery. I just got back from working as a director in a mosque in Delhi, where we also perform the same practices.
Well, that's just fantastic. Back to you, Cameron.
Thanks, Spencer.
And now, the weather. Weather in the Far East, China, has been continuously sunny and pleasant, around 70 degrees Fahrenheit, with Confucius and Buddhism. Europe has been dominated by cool temperatures and Christianity, and will continue to be for another 300 years. But a new storm has been developing in the Middle East. It is scheduled to spread rapidly to North Africa and India. This weather phenomenon, dubbed Islam by our meteorologists, is scheduled to ravage and dominate the Middle East for the next 400 years.
Now we're going to Spencer on the field in Europe, where he's speaking with a doctor about the plague.
Thanks, Cameron. The year's 1348, and I'm in Western Europe here talking to a doctor who specializes with the plague. So, what can you tell us about the plague?
It's a very deadly disease. We've seen it kill patients in under 3 days.
And where do you suppose it originated from?
We think it originated from China.
Do we have an estimate on maybe the death toll?
About 350 million at this point.
And why isn't it spreading to other areas?
Climates can affect this disease differently, and mutations allow it not to spread.
So, what are some of the symptoms to this disease?
Some symptoms are coughing, sneezing, and in very rare cases it can be very fatal.
And how long does it take for the plague to run its course?
Usually 3 days, unfortunately.
And how long have you been working on this?
I've been here for 3 days.
Well, that's the bubonic plague. Back to you, Cameron.
And we will be right back.
Have you ever wondered what day it is? Or what month is coming up next? Have you ever felt lost and didn't know when the world was going to end? Well, fear no longer, because the Aztec calendar is here. Only 1975 a year. Human sacrifices not included.
Buy beautiful golden bananas straight from Madagascar.
Have you ever wanted to blow up your enemies? Well, now you can, with gunpowder from the Chinese Empire. Just buy it, set it off, and kill everyone in sight, just like the Chinese. This message is sponsored by the Chinese Emperor.
Hello, this is Jules and Cameron, reporting from outside of the newsroom. Unfortunately, we have been displaced by the Crusaders.
Persuaded by Pope Urban II, many religious men of Europe have joined together to reclaim the Holy Land. Unfortunately, our newsroom was in the Holy Land. We probably should have thought that through.
Now the Muslims are engaged in a war with the Christians. But on a more positive note, trade has increased due to these interactions. Sugar is up by 13%.
We're now back in the studio because the Crusades have ended.
In international news this evening, tensions continue to build between the kings of France and England. Rulers have been fighting furiously over land claimed by both sides, which has caused political unrest and turmoil, especially in France.
Look for the tensions to erupt into a series of wars which could last up to 100 years. Travel is not advised to these areas, as many violent campaigns are being launched by England to conquer lands in France.
Also, look for increased taxes on people of France and England as a result of the high amounts of spending by the kings of these two areas. And now we go to Spencer on the field.
Here's 1425, and I'm here in China talking with Zheng He. So tell us, what is it that you do?
I have been on many expeditions for the Chinese Emperor and China itself.
And where have you gone on those expeditions?
I've been to Southeast Asia, Persia, China and Ceylon, and soon I will go to Africa.
And what is it that you do on those missions?
I give and received gifts in the name of the Chinese Emperor.
What sorts of gifts?
We once received a very tall horse called a giraffe.
So what's your opinion on these other areas?
They're cool, but they're not China.
That's Zheng He.
Thanks, Spencer. I'm Jules.
And I'm Cameron.
And this is Channel 1492, and we're signing off.